build the third Beis Hamikdash?
So with regards to the building of the third Beis Hamikdash, we find in the Gemara Sukkah, Rashi says, and Tosfos also says the same thing, that Mikdash Hazeh Shanu Mitzapim, this Beis Hamikdash that we're awaiting, the third Beis Hamikdash, Banu Mishuchlal Yigala V'Yavim Min Shamayim. It's going to be revealed and come from heaven, completely built and ready. Which means that this is the Kabbalah, this is something which was a tradition amongst Jews, which Rashi brings it and Tosfos brings it. The Beis Hamikdash is going to be totally built in Shamayim, and it's going to come down from Shamayim. In fact, the general tradition based on the Medrash is that every time a Jew does a mitzvah, he's adding another brick to the Beis Hamikdash, to the third Beis Hamikdash, as it's being built in Shamayim. A similar idea it says also in the Zohar, that the Zohar explains why is it that the first and second Beis Hamikdash were destroyed, and the third Beis Hamikdash won't be destroyed, is because the first and second Beis Hamikdash were binyana de barnash, they were a building of a human being, and therefore they don't last. Whereas the third Beis Hamikdash is binyana de kuchabrichu, it's a building of Hashem, which is why it's something that lasts forever. This is also based on the pasuk Mikdash Adnai Kainu Yodecha, Beis Hamikdash, which Hashem's hands established, which that refers to the third Beis Hamikdash, which it says in the Gemara will be built by Hashem with both hands of Hashem. The Rambam, however, says, when the Rambam discusses the signs of Mashiach, one of the signs that makes Mashiach be Mashiach Vadai, certainly Mashiach, is the fact that Yivnei Mikdash Mimkaima is going to build the Beis Hamikdash in the proper place. When it says Mashiach will build the Beis Hamikdash, it doesn't necessarily mean that Mashiach is going to be the actual builder in all that part, but that Mashiach is going to be the one in charge, the one who will inspire, and the one who will lead and guide the building of the third Beis Hamikdash. First of all, it's just a side note, something important to put down, is that even according to the Rambam, that it's going to be built by a human being, it's not just by any human being, but it's specifically part of the job and the mission of Mashiach is building the Beis Hamikdash, because it has to be Mashiach who's able to do the third Beis Hamikdash. Can't just be built by anyone, it has to be built by Mashiach. The reason why the Rambam says in this way, even though we find Rashi, Tosfos there say differently, is because being that it's a mitzvah is a commandment which is upon people, and therefore V'asu li Mikdash is also a mitzvah, and therefore it has to be done by people. But the one who can do it is Mashiach, and because he's the one who's going to know the place of the Beis Hamikdash, the exact place of the Mizbeach, and he's the one who will have the power to build the Beis Hamikdash properly. The Rabbi explains that it doesn't have to be an argument, and both opinions can be together, either through the fact that Mashiach will build the Beis Hamikdash, and then inside that Beis Hamikdash, the physical Beis Hamikdash will be built by Mashiach, there will be the spiritual Beis Hamikdash that will come down from above, or that the entire Beis Hamikdash will come down from above and Mashiach will put up the doors, which it says Tavu Ba'aretz Shareh, the gates, the doors of the Beis Hamikdash were sunk in the ground. Mashiach will bring them up so that he's the one who puts up the doors. It's as if he put up the entire building. Or that Mashiach will do the parts that we're able to know, because there's a lot of parts which aren't clear in the prophecy of Yecheskel. Mashiach will do those things that we're able to do, that we know how to do, and the rest Hashem will do and show us. And the Rabbi even goes on to say another thing, that when we learn about the Beis Hamikdash, we actually have both, because we learn that's our part, and Hashem considers it as if we built it, so that's what's coming from above. But the basic thing is that the third Beis Hamikdash, which we're waiting for, that it should happen right now, it's something which will be built in a together by both people with the leadership of Mashiach, and Hashem, who will make the completion in whichever way it happens, that it will come through both, may it happen immediately.